What is going on, FA Nation? Justin Fensterman here with another Fantasy Baseball Stock Watch report for the week. Let's talk about some players who are trending up and others who are trending down when it comes to their fantasy baseball production. Time to feel out the market. Let's invest on fantasyalarm.com. Let's get after it. First, a few players trending up. Let's start with Giancarlo Stanton. The Yankees have been the best team in baseball and have scored the second most runs in the American League and lead the MLB as a team with 52 home runs, and 10 of those belong to Stanton. He's hit 6 of those 10 home runs in his last 11 games and produced 18 RBIs during that span. He has 32 RBIs for the year, which is second most in the major leagues, and has hit 289. He's hit the ball in 5 of his last 6 games, with 4 of those outings being multi-hit performances. After this series against the Orioles, who have allowed 151 runs scored on them, he has another series against the White Sox, who he just played and hit 3 home runs in 4 contests against them. After seeing him play 139 games last year, after being hampered by injuries the previous 2 seasons, we should continue to see strong power from Stanton, and we can fully rely on him. He's hit 35 or more home runs in his last 3 seasons in which he's played at least 100 games. Next player on the rise, Tony Gonsolin. When allowed to pitch at least 5 innings, Gonsolin is undefeated with a 1.64 ERA. He's posted 4 wins in 7 starts and hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in a single start and led up just 6 earned runs for the year so far. He has yet to log a game in which he's hit the 100 pitch mark, but he struck out 5 or more batters in 4 straight starts. In fact, 65% of his pitches have been strikes, and he's walked more than 3 batters in a game just 1 time. Gonsolin has beaten tough opponents, including the Giants and Diamondbacks. He's racked up 3 straight wins and has let up 3 hits or fewer in each of his last 6 games. His next slated start will be against the Phillies on the road, and even though they are under 500, they've been scoring a lot of runs, and this will certainly be a good test for Gonsolin. Another pitcher on the rise, David Bednar. Bednar now has 7 saves and 4 holds for the year. Bednar investors will have to keep an eye on teammate Chris Stratton in case Bednar slips up and starts blowing games, but Bednar has recorded 5 saves in May, and he's allowed just 2 earned runs all year. At the end of April, he let up a run in the 8th inning as the Pirates' bullpen melted down against the Padres, but they rallied to win in extras, and the other run he gave up was against the Dodgers a little over a week ago, but it was in a non-save situation, so he hasn't completely blown a game for Pittsburgh just yet, and that should keep a bit of length on his leash when it comes to him getting save opportunities for the Pirates. He's recorded strikeouts in every appearance except for 1, and he's walked 3 batters all year, and none of them have been in May. Bednar has an ERA of just 1, and that is the 3rd lowest ERA of any reliever that has recorded at least 7 saves, and that is behind Josh Hader and Taylor Rogers. Now for players trending down, let's start with Jose Abreu. Abreu has been one of the most disappointing first basemen from a fantasy perspective this year. He's produced just 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. For a player who was drafted in the top 7 at his position and in the early rounds of fantasy baseball drafts, he certainly hasn't been giving us anywhere near the return we'd want at this point, as 4 players on his own team have hit more homers than him. He went on a bit of an RBI run a couple of weeks ago when he faced teams like the Cubs and Red Sox, but then was ineffective against the Yankees, and he's hit the ball in just 2 of his last 7 contests. His BABIP and hard hit percentage do indicate that Abreu has been getting a bit unlucky, and a turnaround could be on the horizon, with his hard hit percentage being 54.5, but the White Sox have scored the 4th fewest amount of runs in the majors, and the team's offense certainly isn't helping matters, hitting just .228 as a whole. Also falling, Tyler O'Neill. Despite the 19 RBIs he's hit in, we haven't seen O'Neill post any in his last 6 games he's appeared in, and he's starting to lose out on playing time just a little bit, getting a couple of games off here and there recently. We saw O'Neill drafted within the first 50 to 55 picks of fantasy baseball drafts, and we have seen Harrison Bader and Dylan Carlson hit for a higher average than him. Juan Yepez coming in and hitting over .360 in 40 at-bats has also shaken the lineup up a bit. In recent games, we've seen O'Neill drop from hitting cleanup to 6th, with Yepez hitting cleanup in each of his last 6 outings. O'Neill struck out a team-high 36 times this season and has just 7 extra base hits. His hard hit rate is down, sitting at under 34%, the lowest it's been in his career. We're not seeing any kind of injury being reported for O'Neill, and we'll all have to be patient and hope that he rebounds soon. Final faller, Spencer Torkelson. Miguel Cabrera has been the most productive Tigers hitter. Again, Miguel Cabrera has been the most productive Tigers hitter. Not a joke. While he's hitting .296 with 14 RBIs, on the other end of the Tigers' age chart, the 22-year-old rookie Torkelson has logged just 9 RBIs in 98 at-bats, and he's hitting a dismal .153. He's struck out 36 times, which is second most on the team. In 12 games in May, he's hitting just 1 run and has scored just 1 time as well. He's hitting a lot more grounders than fly balls and has just a .203 BABIP. He's hitting the ball hard 42% of the time, but he's also striking out over 31% of the time he's at the dish. We saw Torkelson hit .267 with 30 home runs in the minors last year, but adjusting to the major league level takes reps, and Torkelson investors are learning that it may take him a bit to fully adjust, and the Tigers have scored the fewest amount of runs in the majors so far. And that's another Fantasy Baseball Stock Watch, FA Nation. Keep your eye on the market. Even if your team is struggling, there's still plenty of opportunities to find short-term solutions to help patch the void that might be left open because of an injury or an underperformer. If you're down in your standings, don't give up just yet. Plenty of time to make it up and still win. We've got you covered. That's what the stock market is all about. Sometimes you flush, sometimes you bust, but the bounce back effect of stocks, just like in real life, it's the same in fantasy sports as well. Don't give up. We got you covered. That's what family's for.